This is the cheapest way into a brand new Tesla Model Y. Not the long range or performance, zero upgrades, just the Model Y. And for a lot of people, that's all they'll need. And this car exists for one reason: to make the Model Y more accessible than it's ever been. And the question isn't just, is it good? It's whether the stripped-back version still delivers the Tesla experience, or if you're better off stretching to a higher spec or even going used. So this isn't just about what's missing, but what actually matters. Let's start with the biggest headline, and this version is around £7,000 cheaper than the long range. And that changes dramatically how many people can afford the Model Y. Because for the first time, you've got a Model Y sitting closer to entry-level EV competitors and even petrol SUVs. On finance, you're looking at roughly £299 per month, depending on what country you're in, and deposit contribution, which is genuinely impressive for what this car is. And that's where Tesla's strategy is obvious. This isn't built to impress existing Tesla owners, it's built to bring in new people. This one is finished in stealth grey, which is actually the free colour, and honestly, it suits the car. It's understated, not flashy. However, I can't help but think that the red would make it look a little more like Iron Man. But this fits the whole personality of this version. You do lose some of the visual drama, no full width light bar at the front, and some simpler rear lighting. But still, there's a futuristic feel overall. Interestingly, it doesn't feel cheap. If anything, it looks a little cleaner overall. A lot of reviewers have said it comes across as more stealthy and mature rather than stripped down. The 19-inch wheels come as standard, but importantly, you can't upgrade them when buying. That's a small part of how Tesla has kept the price down, but for real-world use, that's actually a good thing. Better ride comfort, better efficiency, and a lower replacement cost. So visually, yes, it's simpler, but it still looks like a Model Y, and that carries some weight. So the interior. This is where you start to see what Tesla has removed to hit that price. Straight away, no ambient lighting, no glass roof, which has been replaced by a solid roof liner, no rear screen, more fabric, less soft touch materials, and a simpler center console layout. And then some slightly more noticeable changes. Seat controls have been moved to the screen, which I'd actually like to see on my model. No rear heated seats, fewer speakers, around 7 versus the 15 on the premium long range. Now, on paper, that sounds like a lot has been taken away. But here's the reality. It's still a Tesla. It still has everything you'd want from a Tesla in every day. You've still got the same steering wheel, the same screen, although this one is better than my premiums. It also has the same layout, the same driving position, and importantly, it still feels like a really nice place to sit. Some viewers have said they'd happily take the fabric seats because they're more comfortable and less sticky in the heat. So yes, you lose some premium touches, but you don't lose the core experience. So, practicality. This is where nothing really changes. You still get 854 litres of boot space, a massive underfloor storage, flat floor in the rear, and this yacht floor style cubby here reminds me of the original Model S and fits a bag really well. There's huge rear legroom, and it still feels like one of the most practical EVs you can buy. Compared to its competitors, the Skoda Enyaq is similar on paper, the Kia EV6 is slightly tighter inside, and the Audi Q4 e-tron costs more for less space, and none of them match the combination of storage, simplicity, software that Tesla offers. Battery range and efficiency, and this is one of the strongest parts of the car. 60 kWh usable battery, 270 miles of claimed range, but that's probably good for around 240 miles real world, and the efficiency can be around about 4 to 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, and that's genuinely impressive. And that's something you come to expect from Tesla. And because the car is lighter and simpler, it actually leans into efficiency even more. Charging is up to 170 kilowatt peak charging, although I saw closer to 190, slightly slower than the premium, but still really fast. In real world use, because of the smaller battery and a really good charging curve, I was always back on the road with 100% after 20 minutes. And this is more than enough range for daily driving, family use, long trips with charging stops, and paired with the Supercharger network, it feels easier than most EVs to live with. Next, let's talk about how it actually drives. And on paper, it's around 6.5 to 6.9 seconds 0 to 60, depending on which variant you go for, which makes it the slowest Tesla that you can buy. But here's the thing, it doesn't feel slow at all. You still get that instant torque, and once you're moving, it pulls strongly through the mid-range. It's just missing that aggressive launch feeling you get in higher trims. The suspension on this version is passive dampers instead of adaptive, but importantly, it's still better than the old Model Y. Reviewers describe it as smoother, more composed, a little less brittle than previous versions. And that matches my experience and what you would expect from a Juniper. So even though it's the base model, it still benefits from the improvements Tesla made across the board. Safety and tech. This is where Tesla doesn't cut corners. 5-star rating, 91% adult protection and 93% child protection, 8 cameras, advanced driver assistance, constant over-the-air updates, and the last one matters more than people realize. Because this car doesn't stay the same, it improves over time with better braking, better alerts, new safety features. So, what do you lose? This is the part people care most about. Compared to the premium long range, you lose the premium sound system, the glass roof, the ambient lighting, the rear screen, the heated seats, some interior quality touches, slightly slower charging and performance, and some small usability changes like seat controls in the screen, less sound insulation, simpler storage layout. None of these are deal breakers individually, but together they define the car. So, what about competitors? On paper, rivals can look tempting. Skoda, cheaper entry point, the Kia EV6, strong design and tech, Audi Q4 e-tron, the premium badge, but when you factor everything in, Tesla software, charging network, efficiency, resale value, over-the-air updates, the Model Y still feels like a more complete package, even in this stripped-back form. If you've never owned a Tesla before, this is brilliant. You're getting 90% of the Tesla experience for significantly less money. And you probably won't miss what's gone. But if you have owned a Tesla before, especially a long range or performance, you will notice the differences. The sound system is drastically different, the materials and small touches, and that's where it becomes a harder decision. This isn't the best Model Y, and it's not meant to be. It's supposed to be the most affordable Model Y, the entry-level Model Y. It's the one that makes the most sense financially, and one that brings more people into EV ownership, that proves how much Tesla experience is still intact. Even when you strip things back, and it's not perfect, but it's very, very clever. So that's the Stealth Grey Tesla Model Y, the cheapest, simplest version you can buy, and honestly, probably the one that will sell the most. Let me know what you'd do. This, the long range, or buy a used Model Y. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.